In today's episode, we're going to talk about why most people stay broke despite their best efforts. This recording includes subtitles so you can follow along at your own pace. Why is it that so many hardworking people remain financially trapped? They put in the hours, earn decent paychecks, try to make responsible choices, yet somehow they keep cycling between temporary relief and recurring money stress, never breaking free of living paycheck to paycheck. The reason? Most people have internalized financial patterns that guarantee struggle, not because they're careless, but because they're following an invisible script written for survival, not freedom. When you recognize these patterns, you can start dismantling the cycle keeping you broke. We absorb money habits without questioning them. Most of us learn to treat income as a signal to spend, debt as inevitable, and saving as something you do with whatever's left, if anything. Within this framework, financial struggle feels normal. But here's the trap. These patterns create a perfectly designed system for staying broke. The income-expense cycle leaves no room for wealth building. Over time, we internalize a dangerous assumption that financial struggle is just how life works for regular people. This belief sabotages everything. When you see wealth as something that happens to others, the lucky or privileged, you don't take actions required to create it. Instead of establishing wealth-building systems, you focus on getting by. Instead of making short-term sacrifices, you choose immediate comfort. Instead of questioning inherited financial assumptions, you follow the same script keeping you stuck. Your financial self-image calcifies. You identify as someone not good with money. You make decisions based on monthly affordability rather than long-term position building. You protect the familiar stress of struggle instead of pushing through the discomfort of changing your relationship with money. That's the cycle. Psychological and behavioral patterns that lock you into struggle become your comfort zone. The longer you remain inside this framework, the more permanent financial difficulty feels. Eventually, you realize that despite years of hard work, you're still vulnerable to unexpected expenses, still stressed about bills, still unable to pursue opportunities requiring capital. You can't understand why stability remains elusive despite sincere efforts. This is where financial resignation sets in. You tell yourself maybe this is just how things are for people like you. You believe wealth requires some special advantage you lack. Instead of seeing your financial situation as changeable, you see it as fixed reality. Not because it is, but because believing otherwise means confronting lifelong patterns. So how do we fix this? First, stop identifying as someone who will always struggle financially. Let that identity go, not because struggle isn't real, but because accepting it as permanent becomes self-fulfilling. When your identity centers on managing scarcity rather than creating abundance, you'll perpetuate that reality. You'll focus on coping with being broke instead of building wealth. You'll treat money as flowing through your life, not accumulating within it. The fix is establishing new patterns, prioritizing growth over survival. Stop asking, "How will I make it through this month?" and start asking, "How can I permanently change my trajectory?" Stop treating income as a cue to spend and start treating it as capital to deploy. Stop accepting financial stress as normal and recognize it as a symptom of patterns needing change. Staying broke isn't about how much you earn, it's about your operating system. People stay broke because they consume income instead of leveraging it, focus on minor cost cutting instead of major value creation, and accept financial stress as unchangeable rather than solvable. Yes, breaking financial patterns that feel like your identity is difficult. But the greatest barrier to freedom is continuing to use methods never designed to create it. If this resonated with you, if you recognize your own relationship with money in these patterns, leave a comment about what stood out. Sometimes understanding the cycle is the first step to breaking it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.